Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be planting. It's planting day, which is always a fun day. We're actually going to be working right around our deck. So we just had it restained. Sergey and my stepdad were sanding it and restaining it. So I want to show you the deck. I want to show you what we're going to be planting around the deck. We just removed the railing from it, so it really opened up, and I'll show you guys here in just a sec. But I will need your guys' help on one part. I need your guys' opinion. So if you could please comment down below on what your thoughts are, that would be super helpful, and I'll show you where I'm going to need your guys' help. But this space has totally transformed the way we use kind of that indoor-outdoor living. That's something really special to us, and something that we crave in our life is to be able to have that indoor-outdoor living. So removing the railing has totally transformed this space. Eventually we do want to replace the deck, but for the meantime, I think it looks so much better than what it did before. So let me flip my camera around and show you what we're going to be doing today. All right, here is the lay of the land. This is about a 35-foot long deck, I believe. I think that's how long it is. So it's a really nice sized deck. And I want to talk about what's been going on back here, because we get a lot of questions about like what's wrong with your siding. So we are in year 3 of a complete renovation inside our home. We completely gutted it while we're living in it. Don't recommend it, but we totally did it, and we're kind of at the tail end of this remodel. But what happened is we used to have a balcony door right there. That's where that board is. We went ahead and closed that up, and that became part of our new primary suite. And then we installed this 16-foot sliding door, which has been so magical because right on the inside is our kitchen. So in the morning, well, once things are done, you're going to be able to just see right out into the garden, which is so special and important to us to be able to see out here, especially in the morning for us as soon as we wake up. What I want to do is plant around the deck now that we have it stained. Originally, we used to have these railings over here that would go all the way around the deck, and we only had 4x4s. So what we did is we cased in the boards, the 4x4 beams, that were here, which made it look a lot bigger, as you can tell, which I think is such a game changer and really amped up the look of the space. And now, because we removed that railing, when we do have our rocking chairs and our outdoor table and everything out here, we have this beautiful view of the garden. And I love that, but I do want to plant things along this border right here. And I don't want to do anything that's going to be too tall, and you probably already got a sneak peek of what we're going to be doing. But I don't want anything too tall because, again, I really want to be able to just have that unobstructed view of the garden, and especially the cut flower garden, where I can see my ladies every morning, which is super important to me. So here's what we're going to do. Here's my thought process. We have a bunch of little lime hydrangeas, and we have a few other varieties too, but these are ones that I got a couple of years ago, and they're not looking great. I know, because they've been in their can for about 2 years. Obviously, I didn't mean to wait this long to use them in something, but you know, here we are, and they're doing fine. Once I prune them up this fall and they bloom again next year, I think they're going to be a lot fuller, a lot greener, and just overall healthier and happier plants. But in the meantime, what I want to do is plant them all along this edge here. And I also think on the back edge, right over here. This is where the grill will go. And don't mind the situation. We just have things kind of plopped off the deck. This is our fiddle leaf Frank. We call him, he's a fiddle leaf fig, and he's usually indoors, but I call him fiddle leaf Frank. He's just out here for the summer, on summer break, but he will go inside once we're done. And the other thing that will change once we replace all of the siding and the gutters, this pipe for the gutter is not going to stay here. So this is just like a temporary thing, because when we re-leveled our entire backyard, we had all new, like a drain system installed under. So this is not going to be here. I know it's a big eyesore, but it's just what we have as a temporary solution. So just imagine batten board, creamy white siding all the way around, big framed windows, potentially a new deck. We don't know yet what we're gonna do, if we're gonna do a deck or if we're gonna do concrete, not sure. But in the meantime, we're gonna plant here. But before we plant the hydrangeas, sorry, we're going back and forth here, is I have to figure something out with these hostas. Now these hostas actually were forking the entryway before. We had a little gate that we would go in and out, and the hostas were right on the outside of them. And they're not like beautiful containers, but they're just filled with these really big, mature, established hostas. There's just a mix of them. And I want to fork them again over here because I don't want people to try to hop on and off the deck where we're going to be planting, just because I don't want mud or dirt to be tracked from multiple different areas. If we can have like a little mat over here and have that be the entryway and kind of guide people in and out of there, that is going to be perfect. Eventually, we do want to, again, replace the deck, at least the bottom portion of it. And if you see here, there's like this half moon sort of shape of a concrete pad. Again, not ideal. What I would love to do ideally is maybe have like stepping stones right over here. But again, all in time, these things will happen. But in the meantime, I want to work with what we have, make it beautiful with what we have. So I think first things first, I'm going to be, these are kind of heavy, but I think I can move them myself. I got muscles, I can do it. So I think I'm going to put this one back here, and then we can start getting the hydrangeas lined up and look at spacing and then see how that all looks and feels. So let's get started by setting the stage before we actually begin planting. All right, well, I think that feels pretty good. Of course, my OCD brain hates that this is not the same size. It really just triggers me, but we're gonna go with it. I can always plant something over here and kind of hide that, so it won't be too bad, but I do like how this feels. Like this is the entrance. I might scoot this one a little bit further in so they're a little bit more spaced evenly. Let's talk about these little cuties. These are the little lime hydrangeas. They're paniculata hydrangea, which I really love. They start out kind of a limey green. I don't think there's any early blooms on here. They're pretty far along already, but they start out as a limey green. They turn into this creamy white, and then they start turning pink the further we are in the season, almost into like this burgundy color. And it's just so beautiful. What I love about this hydrangea, it's that plant that really comes in and saves your garden at the end of summertime, right? Because as everything else is kind of tired and dying back and looking, they come in and they're like, I'm gonna carry you over all the way into fall, winter, and they're gonna provide that beautiful structure. They don't flop as much as the regular limelight, which I love. Even though they stay pretty small, again, 3 to 5 feet, it's still substantial in the garden. Now, when we plant them, I don't want to plant them in the center, because what I would like to do is plant them a little bit further back towards the deck and have more play area right here in the front. And I would like to plant different annuals every year, kind of change it up to keep it fun, fresh, exciting. I don't like to do the same thing every single year. So anyways, I'm thinking maybe next year we can do like a Super Tunia Bordeaux, which is probably my favorite one. Love that purple and creamy white together with the hydrangeas. I think that's gonna look beautiful. Once we get to this part, we'll talk about where I need your help, and then we will continue on right back here. So let's set it up, let's measure, because we wanna make sure that Claudia's OCD brain is okay and it's perfectly spaced out, and then we will get to planting. Okay, this feels good to me, I think. Let's see. Let me look at how much room we have back here. Okay, well, maybe just like a touch over, but this feels good. I think we're well spaced apart. Okay. This is like kind of, because this one has an arm going this way, feels like it's a little bit off, but we'll triple check once we get them in the ground. But do you see what I mean? Like it's a little bit further towards the deck, and then that gives us a lot of playing room over here, which is nice. And yeah, let's get to planting. I do want to be mindful because, let me get my gloves on, we have drip running through here somewhere. I don't know where. And I'm going to use my auger, and I don't want to accidentally break the line, because if you know me or you're getting to know me, that's the one thing I don't like doing, is fixing the drip line. Hold on. Aha, there it is. Okay. I'm like, I know it's in here. Okay. I'm gonna just lift it up, see where it comes out. See? I knew it. I'm not crazy. I knew it was here. But why is it here? Oh, it teased off over here. Okay. So I'm gonna make a little bit of a mess, but we'll clean it up after. All right, now that we have everything set up, let's get some materials. All right, this is how it's looking, and I love the way it turned out. So we ended up doing the spacing 36-inch from can to can, and then 1 feet apart from the deck. So everything is nice and measured out back here. Now you do see a little bit of the roots on some of the hydrangeas, and that's okay because I'm gonna come in and mulch, so that will cover them right up. I didn't wanna plant them too low. This area is pretty clayey, so again, I didn't wanna plant them too deep because there's a lot of water retention here, which when I do tap into this drip line, I'm probably only gonna add maybe a 1 gallon per hour emitter in this area. And we can always change the emitters if we have to, but I think everywhere it looks really great. I have to come in and water these guys, and I will go pick up 1 more limelight to add over there. Now here is where I need your guys' help. In this corner, I'm thinking we either have a big container or we plant a tree in ground. The reason why I would use the container over here is because if we go the container route, there is a maple tree that we have that I hope to plant in a container, because that is one of the maples that I hope to take with us when we move, which is not gonna be for a while. But either way, I know that's one tree that I'm like, I'm taking you wherever I go, you're coming with me. So that is the only reason why I would put a container there. But if I do a container there, I'm gonna have a trio of containers on the deck of different maples. I think we'll do that together too. And I think it'd just be too heavy over there. It'd be too like container centric corner, and I don't want that. So I'm thinking a tree will go in this corner. When we change the gutters, there is going to be a spout coming right down. So I think the tree will kind of mask that a little bit. We thought about doing maybe like a vine, but we have vines other places in our garden, so I don't want that to be in this one area here. So what I'm thinking is there are 3 trees that I'm thinking about. There's the burgundy jewel maple in the front, which is not doing so well because there's too much sun over there. That doesn't get too big. It would bring a little bit of red into this area. You see we have a lot of blue and green, some yellow, but we need red in this bed. So I'm thinking that maple would be really beautiful. So this is what that maple looks like. You can see this one also has to be moved because it's just getting too crunchy. It's just too much sun. I thought we could pull it off, but we're gonna have to come in and move this probably to the side garden somewhere where it gets a little bit more shade, or I don't know, tuck it away somewhere else closer to the house, maybe where it's not fully exposed to the sun. So this is the maple option. The other option would be a false cypress. We have a couple, so all of these things still need to get planted, you guys. I see a good sale and I like something and I buy it and I'm like, I'm gonna figure it out later. So all of this is gonna be planted. They're just sitting here waiting for their forever home. But I'm thinking we have 2 of these false cypress and we could put one over there. And when we get back there, I'll show you, there's already one on the other corner, so it'd be kind of nice to mirror it. So that is an option. The other option is this one right here. This is a Styrax Obesia. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but it's basically, I think it's a snowbell. It's so beautiful. It has the most beautiful fragrance. It has kind of these panicle shaped clusters of white little flowers that just droop down. The reason why I like it is it does get pretty big, 20 to 30 feet, I believe, but we can prune it to keep it a small size, which we do with a lot of our other trees. We can prune it and shape it and almost create a little bit of an arch. That way, when you walk in to that little seat under our fig, we call that the fig bench, we can have like a little area to walk in. And obviously once we replace all of the fence, it's just going to be a really beautiful area right over here. You know what? I have another Styrax over here. This is our holding area for all of our plants. We still need to get planted until we develop this spot into a garden. This is the other Styrax that we have. You can see these are the seed pods that it leaves behind. Aren't they so pretty? And they're just fuzzy and velvety. They have such a beautiful scent to them. And I do love the shape of this tree. I love it. I also thought about this tree back here, but this is not going to be an option because we already have a blue over there. So this is a blue angel white pine. She's not a contender because we already have too many blue in that corner. But I think this is the one we're going to go with. But I still want your guys' opinion. So I think that's definitely option 3. So we either have the Styrax, the false cypress, which kind of mirrors this one right here, or we go with the maple, which again would bring that element of red, and it doesn't get very big, so it actually could be a perfect contender. Let me know your thoughts, because I think this is a really important anchor piece over here. And even if we replace the deck, we'll probably keep it around the same size, so about 35 feet long. So either way, we don't plan on moving whatever we plant over here. And let's just take one more look from this side. How pretty is this going to be when they're all filled in, pruned nicely, because right now they're looking a little wonky, but that's okay. We're gonna figure it out. It's gonna be all right. And I think once we also bring back the mulch and just cover this whole area, it's going to look so much better. We have to move our fiddle away, get that tree in the holding zone where it belongs until we figure out a home for it. But overall, I think this is going to be so stunning. All right, I think that will wrap up today's video. I'm pretty sure I have mud on my face. I'm not sure. You would tell me though if I did. Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up today. It's getting a little bit dark. I need to go in, shower, get ready for date night with Sergey. But I love the way this area feels. I really can't wait to hear your guys' opinion on what we should plant in the corner, which tree. I don't think we should do a container because it's gonna feel like there's too many containers in that one corner. It might feel a little bit heavy. So I really want to go with something in ground. So let me know your opinions down below. But yeah, we'll come back in our next video when we get that planted. I will go ahead and add drip, mulch everything after I get everything planted so it's not a big mess again. So anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today in my garden, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.